So let's get started. I'm going to get started now with the three things that I did on day one to launch my coaching consulting business. So I know so many of you have reached out and I'm so grateful. So the first thing is I want to talk about clarity. Now that's an overused word in the online space, but a lot of you guys probably really never even heard of clarity in a business sense because that's not jargon that we use in our space. So clarity means let's self-assess. I want you to get out your pen and paper. And I want you to first, let's take a deep breath together. Ready, guys? Let's take a nice deep breath. Now, once you're grounded and connected in yourself, I want you to ask yourself and self-assess, what lights you up every day? Like what really makes you feel really good in the things that you do daily in your business? Write these down now. What are your passions? Like, what do you love doing that feels better than any other freaking thing that you do? What skill sets do you have that you maybe have brought from your past experiences, from your job, from your business, from what you're doing daily, or from your life experience? Did you delve into like healing? Did you go through a bad divorce and you figured out how to repair your finances? I want you to really be honest. What are all the things that make up who you are? And I have to be honest with you, in getting clarity on that, a lot of people underestimate their brilliance. We just underestimate how brilliant we really are and what our gifts are. So I want you to be honest with yourself. I want you to tap in right now and just start automatic writing on that piece of paper. What are the things that people pick your brain about? That you are better than anyone else at, and that comes easy to you. Now, this might be overwhelming to you because there's probably a lot of things, right? You might be better than anyone else at doing one of my clients, she does balayage. She teaches a hair technique that she does it faster than anyone else. She teaches people how to cut corners and doing those highlighting services. That is what her brilliance is. And that is what we helped her. I helped her create her coaching business and mentoring business on teaching other people how to cut their time so they can make more money and not be doing 7-hour balayage services, cut it back to 2 hours. You see where I'm going with this? But this could be anything. So I want you guys to write it down. I see you guys all coming in and coming on. Thank you. I am so honored that you're all here. I'm so happy to be sharing this workshop with you. So we just started talking about clarity. So self-assessment. I want you to self-assess yourself. What are you better than anyone else at? What is your brilliance? What lights you up that just comes easy to you? What are your friends, family, colleagues, other people in business constantly picking your brain about, right? Here's an example. People were constantly picking my brain about, Maria, how did you go from being a hairdresser, salon owner, to owning a successful coaching and consulting company? How the hell did you reinvent yourself? How did you do it? How did you do it? So my brilliance is sharing how I did it, connecting with my heart, bringing in intuition, mindset, my passion, and teaching the business strategy to do it with no BS, like simplicity. Does that make sense? Give me some love, guys. Let me know if that makes sense in the chat. Give me a yes in the chat if this all makes sense. Yes, perfect. Okay, so the second question I want you to ask yourself, thank you guys, I love you so much. Why do you want to reinvent yourself? Is it that you want to reinvent yourself to exit where you are now? Maybe you own a salon or a holistic practice, right? Maybe you're a chiropractor, let's say, and you're tired of being chained to your brick and mortar. I want you to really be honest with yourself. What's the why? Or do you want to keep your business and just add a new stream of income? So let's really dive into, why do you want to reinvent yourself? Is it to just add more money, create more impact, help more people? Well, and also, is it that you just want to change and you want to totally have a freedom-based business? So even every single answer is going to be different. Every single person who answers this question, guys. There's no right or wrong answer. It is your personal journey. My answer was I wanted freedom. I didn't want to be changed to my brick and mortar anymore. I didn't want to do one more person's friggin' hair to have to pay my bills. Are we on the same page? I didn't want to manage a team anymore in a brick and mortar. I didn't want the overhead. So my reasons were I wanted freedom and I wanted to make money with no ceiling on it. And the freedom meant I wanted to be able to work from anywhere. So I can go to my house in Italy for a month, no stress, no worries, and be able to help other people with my coaching consulting business. Okay. So answer this question. Why do you want to reinvent yourself? And the next thing is, what do you hope to achieve? We have to know, what are we looking to achieve by starting this coaching consulting business? Is it because you want to make more money? Is it because you want freedom? Is it because you want to spend more time with your kids? Is it because you want to hang out with your hubby more? Is it because you want to travel? Everyone's reasons are different. But again, write down, what are the reasons that you want to start this business? And what do you hope to achieve? So when we reflect on transitioning and reinventing ourselves, it's really on identifying our passions, tapping into our interests. What do our long-term goals look like? Like, what are you truly looking to achieve with this? Now, guys, if you don't have answers to all these questions, that's okay. Take time later and self-assess. I'm going to tell you one thing. No matter what I teach you in these 3 days, if you don't take action and actually step into feeling uncomfortable, shit ain't going to happen, right? If you take what I teach you these 3 days, you could actually walk away by Wednesday and figure out how to try and launch your own coaching, consulting, or online mentoring business. You'll have like the basics of it. But if you don't invest in you and say, you know what, I'm willing to feel uncomfortable. I'm willing to feel like shit a little bit so I can be honest with myself, you won't get any results. So I want you to take a deep breath again. Come on. And I want you to go with it. Tap into your inner knowing, tap into your gut, tap into your soul, whatever you call it, your GPS, and ask yourself these questions. Now, the first thing in creating a successful coaching and consulting business, now this could be offline or online. I prefer online because, quite frankly, I want the freedom. So I'm going to be talking to the online space. Is getting the clarity as to what you want to do. What do you want to teach? Do you want to teach people how to open a business? Do you want to teach people how to be the best dermaplane abrasion person? Do you want to teach how to do tattooed eyebrows? Like, what is it that you want to mentor in? And there's no right or wrong answer. I want to remind you guys, the online education business, so the knowledge business, is going to be a whopping $325 billion by 2025. There is so much opportunity. There's so much space for growth. Do you want to get a piece of that? So let's tap back in now and let's talk about the market. So now we have clarity. The first step you're going to do is you're going to get clarity on what it is that you want to teach. Okay, this might take a little bit of time, so be nice and loving and gentle to yourself. Don't beat yourself up if you can't get it right now. After these 3 days, I am offering 10-minute. You can do it while we're here during these 3 days, or even after. I'm offering 10-minute get acquainted calls. There's no obligation. We simply hop on a 10-minute call. I can help you get clarity as to where, and what you want to do. So feel free to reach out to me. We can hop on a conversation. I can help you get clarity. Once we get clarity on what we want to do, we need to think about, what's the market? Like, is there a market for what I want to do? And I always give this example. Sometimes people come up to me with ideas, and then I say to them, well, listen, would you go sell an Eskimo snow in the winter? So even though you might think you have a great idea, you have to really do some market research, which to me is second and very important. Are people looking for what you're doing? And you know what a real easy way to do market research is? I want you to write this down. You go on Google Trends, Trends, Google Trends, and you look it up. It'll show you over the past 5 years what people are looking for on Google. Then you can simply Google it, Google a few different phrases of what you want to coach on, and see what pops up. Underneath, then, when they chose what pops up, you're going to see people also ask. Open up those little links, and those will give you feedback as to, is this viable business? Or is this a mentoring and coaching business that people are actually going to pay for? The third secret to figuring out if it's a viable business, guys, if nobody else is doing it, like nobody, there's no competition, it's probably not a good idea. If there's tons of people doing it and are successful, then it's a viable idea. Think about it. I'll give a salon as an example. There's 50 million nail salons that work with no appointments in the United States. Can you guys hear me? I wonder, guys, let me know if you can hear me again. Okay. So there's 50 million salons in the United States, right? Guys, can you hear me okay? Okay. So I was saying there's 50, okay, budget salons. There's plenty of competition, but guess what? They keep popping up and opening up, and they're all doing great. So your 3 ways to research if what you want to do is viable. You know what, Andrea? Maybe it's just maybe hop out and hop back in. It might be your connection's a little shaky because no one else seems to have. Let me see. Anybody else? Everyone else hears me good, right? Okay. I'm sorry, Andrea, that you're not hearing it good. Aww. Okay. So once you do your research on these 3 things, you will see that if you have a viable market or not. Now, those are things that people a lot of times want to skip over when they're creating their coaching consulting business. But if you know that people are already buying these products and you know that there's a lot of competition, don't be afraid of that. A lot of people are like, oh, Maria, but I feel like it's saturated. I actually had a call with a client this morning who was like, I don't know, but what I want to do is so saturated. So we did our market research together. And the truth of the matter is, it's a great viable market, what this woman wants to do, because other people are doing it. So I always say, you think you have a great idea, you might have to tweak it to make it something that people are going to buy. Because remember, guys, there's no point in creating a coaching or consulting business to sell shit that no one wants, right? Like you have to be like honest with yourself too. How many of you guys are really feeling like you can focus in, hone in, and be honest with yourselves? Yes, I know you all could do it. You guys are all amazing. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the potential career opportunity of it. Like, what type of coaching and consulting business do you want? Do you want to have online courses that are on autopilot, meaning you create them and then they just run on autopilot and you market them and people just buy them and you really have no connection to the people? Do you want a group coaching program? Now, I know I'm throwing a lot at you. I'm throwing a lot of stuff at you guys. So just, you can watch this later on the replay. You could take notes later. Don't get stressed out. I just want to give you as much value as possible in these 3 days. So the second option is, do you want a group coaching program? I know a lot of my friends and clients, they do group coaching, meaning you invite a group of people, anywhere from 3 to 5 to 500 into a group, and then you work with them and in a group, and that way it saves you time. This is a leveraged way of doing things. Do you want to go in to places and physically mentor people, right? Some people market their businesses online, then they go to places and they actually consult with people. Do you want to do like what I do? I do one-on-one consulting, meaning I work one-on-one with each client. It's private, it's personalized, it's customized. There's all different price points. There's all different ways of showing up. So when we work together in my brilliant reinvention program, what I do is we tailor make your program to match your lifestyle, the amount of money you want to make, the amount of hours you want to make, because there's no one size fits all, guys. And if you go online and you've seen people selling one size fits all, like a cookie cutter program that everyone should be doing, I personally got burned, and I've spent thousands on other people over the years. And that's, it didn't work because it was too overwhelming. So I believe in custom tailored. Okay. So after we do our market research, we kind of have an idea what our own brilliance is. We kind of have an idea as to what we're going to bring to the market. Then we're going to talk about what kind of timeline, like what kind of timeline are you giving yourself to launch this coaching and consulting business? Is it 3 months? Is it 6 months? I want you to write this down. What's your specific goal and timeline to actually bring your business to market? And guys, it's a lot simpler than you think. The most scary part of it is actually showing up and friggin' implementing and doing it. Fear holds more people back from their dreams than anything else. So once we get to this specific point, like when are we going to transition into this, right? What's your actionable steps going to be? So I know a lot of my clients, some people have brick and mortars, some people don't. Some people just work for people. So I'll use an example of Kayla. Kayla owned a spa. Kayla wanted to launch her business teaching other spa owners to hit 7 figures because that's what she had mastered like the back of her hand. She just became brilliant at getting that brick and mortar spa business to 7 figures. So what we did is Kayla gave herself a 6-month window. We got clarity. We figured out what kind of business structure she was going to use. We figured out who her ideal client was going to be. And then we put her business together. In 6 months, she got her business to market in a very simplified way without a lot of hoopla and a lot of like complicated tech stuff. She then was able to step into deciding what she was going to do with her spa. See, this is where a lot of business owners get overwhelmed. Just because you're ready to exit doesn't mean you have to do it simultaneously, or you have to be pressured to get out of your business before you launch your consulting business. I actually suggest launch your consulting business and then figure out how to exit. That way it's smoother and you already have your new business up and running. That's what I did. For those of you that know me, those of you who I still do hair 1 or 2 days a week. Why? Because I like it, not because I have to. And I'm very transparent because at the end of the day, a reinvention is about a process. And in the process, you have to be nice to yourself and honest with yourself and not pressure yourself because maybe you're not ready to make that move yet. Maybe you need to build one step at a time. So we worked on her business, and in 6 months, she launched that business. I am really honored to say that she got that business up to 6 figures in the first year with the strategy that we put together. Then she felt she was ready to go part-time in her other business and then put her business for sale. So it was a process. The exit strategy is a process. And guys, it's not the same for everyone. Can you guys hear me okay? Is everyone back? Yes, everyone's good, right? Okay, let me just make sure. Andrew, everybody can hear me good. All right, so I'm going to take that. So the next step is I'm going to share with you guys like the biggest mistakes that I see people making. So the biggest mistakes I see a lot of people that go into coaching make are these. They aren't clear. They're not crystal clear as to who they're speaking to and who they're going to help. Like what they're doing is vague. I made the same mistake. When I started, I wanted to help everybody. I wanted to just, I was good at personal development. I was good at, business. I was good at marketing. Like I wanted to help everyone. And it was a default because it wasn't clear what I was doing. So I couldn't attract the right clients because I wanted to do too many things. I wanted to save the world. Now, that doesn't mean you have to debunk that you're multi-passionate. It doesn't mean that you have to beat yourself up because you're multi-passionate. It simply means that right now, to launch your coach consulting business, you have to be laser focused on what's the one solution that you are going to bring to someone. Now, As you grow and evolve and change, that solution might change, right? It doesn't mean that you have to stay stuck in this place. So it's a process once again. So decide what is the one solution that you're going to bring to that one market. And this brings me to my next point. The one market is your niche. Your niche meaning who is the person that you're gonna help. Again, this may be very overwhelming. This might be the first time you're hearing this. You might be like, what the hell? Guys, look, I drink my coffee out of a snowman mug all year long. So tap into that. Who do you want to talk to? So when you do all the exercises earlier that I talked about, it'll help you bring you to your niche. And again, niches can change and tweak as we go, right? Right now in my career, at this very moment, I am helping beauty and wellness professionals launch coaching, mentoring, and online education businesses. It's crystal clear, right? There's no jargon. It's not confusing. There's no fluff. I'm not telling you I'm going to give you joy and abundance. Trust me, if you work with me, you're going to learn a lot about joy and abundance. I'm not telling you that I'm going to open you up and teach you how to breathe and meditate and tap into your soul and your intuition, but you're gonna. You see what I'm saying? All my magic is in there, but it's crystal clear what you're going to do. What are you going to accomplish when you're done working with me? And this is where I want you to take your head and your heart, because you got to tap into your inner self to get the right answers for this. So I was talking about the mistakes. So an unclear niche creates unclear messaging. And what is a messaging? Now, guys, today, like I said, I'm throwing a lot of stuff at you, but this is the core foundation. Tomorrow, I'm going to go into each part and how you're going to implement it. Unclear messaging means I don't know what the frig you're talking about. Like I go on your website or on your Facebook page or on your TikTok or wherever the heck you're hanging out, and I'm like, what does this person do? Who are they? Like, it's very vague. Like, I have no idea what the hell you do or who you serve. That's what unclear messaging is. Like, there's no clarity as to what I'm going to get from you. Why do I need to work with you? So this is what I want you to write that down. What is your niche going to be? And how clear, what's the clear message that we're going to give people? I'm going to clearly give you a message today. If you work with me in the Brilliant Business Reinvention, you are going to have everything you need to launch your coaching, consulting, or online education business. It's clear. You see how like it's really clear? No jargon. Okay, let's see. I know time is running out already. So the other mistake I see a lot of coaches and consultants make online is everything's fluffy and they're a generalist, meaning my favorite example is this. Would you go to the podiatrist to get heart surgery? Of course you wouldn't. That's freaking crazy, right? Who the hell would do that? But when your niche is not clear and you're not coming up as a specialist, the more specialized you can be, the better you're going to convert, the better your marketing is going to convert, the better people are going to understand what you're doing. And at the end of the day, the more money you're going to make because people are crystal clear as to why they need to come to you as the specialist. When people come to work with me, they love the idea that I come from the beauty world. I come from beauty and wellness. Like my talking is not jargon and fluff from another type of like from corporate. I can't, like corporate people don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. I come from a different space. But do you see how that crystal clear? Oh, I'm so glad you can hear me better now. That's awesome. Thanks. I'm so glad, Andrea. But that is what I mean by being crystal clear as to your message and as to who you're going to serve. Be the specialist, not the generalist. And guys, this is a battle because when people come to work with me, it's a huge battle. And I made the same mistake. You know a lot. You're brilliant. You have a big heart. You have so many gifts. You have so much knowledge. But those are all the cherries and the whipped cream that you bring into your services upon delivery. initially, what is the end result that you are giving people? What's the one solution you're going to fix? And I have to tell you, I am guilty. I'm going to come clean. I struggled with this the most because I'm multi-passionate, because I wanted to give so much. Until I honed in on my specialty, I didn't make the money I wanted. I didn't get the business I wanted. Now, business just simply flows to me in a way that's aligned with me because I'm in alignment. I'm crystal clear with what I'm doing. I'm crystal clear with who I serve. And this is one of the biggest errors that a lot of people make in the coaching consulting space. And last but not least is people want fast results. Guys, I know all of you on here are in business. I've spoken to most of you. You all are brick and mortar business owners. You all have businesses, or you're working in a brick and mortar business. You know what it takes to run a business. So by thinking that the online world is full of bright, shiny objects, you're only fooling yourself. And if you're not going to be committed to doing the work, even what I'm going to share these 3 days, you're not going to get any results because there is no easy way through anything. You have to do the work and you have to follow the steps to get the results. So by putting all these first things into place, you can create this business. So let's just recap. It's really about getting clarity. Now, guys, remember, I said you can download the workbook if you want. It'll just give you some like ideas, food for thought. I shared a whole bunch of stuff in there. Or you could just take notes and watch this replay in the Facebook group later. There's no right or wrong way. I show up and educate and teach always intuitively. I follow my heart and my intuition. So that is all part of my program and how I operate. But for you guys, I want you to all to be crystal clear that to get the results you want, you have to get clarity, define your niche, meaning who the heck you're talking to. The more narrow it is, remember, the podiatrist and the heart doctor, who are you going to? You're going to narrow it down, right? Is going to make your marketing much easier because marketing comes afterwards. Marketing is the last thing you do once our business is all put together, right? And you have to be laser focused as to what you want to bring to the table. What do you want this to look like? Do you want to work 1 day a week? Do you want to work 3 days a week? Do you want to have group coaching? Do you want to have one-on-one? Now, these are things that we work through together. I know it's a lot to process. When we work together in the Brilliant Business Reinvention program, we work through all this and we pull out, we tap in and we figure out what really is aligned with you. What do you want your business to look like? How techie are you? How non-techie are you? What fits with you? And that's how the program is created. So for today, your homework for today is self-assessment, reflection, being honest with yourself, and being really friggin' nice to yourself. Guys, put the goddamn bats down. You know, the bats that you take out and you start beating yourself up with because you don't have all the answers? It's not going to work that way. To get clear on strategy, you need to get clear in here first. This is something I've learned through all the years of being in business. Creating a coaching, consulting, and mentoring business is simply packaging up your brilliance, what comes easy to you, and bringing it to the world. And we aren't selling a freaking thing. You know why? Because you're being of service. Being a coach, consultant, or mentor in my world means you invite people in for transformation. You're giving yourself, you're giving these people yourself, you're giving them an opportunity to work on themselves. You're giving them an invitation for change. And when you show up in that energy, people can't help but want to work with you if you have all the other things ahead of time that we talked about today crystal clear, because then they're going to know this is the person I need. I had a conversation with a beautiful woman this morning, and she was like, I knew exactly you were what I needed. Why? Because my message is clear. My marketing is clear. My niche is really honed in. and I show up authentically, which is my last but not least. To have a successful coaching and consulting company, in my opinion, you have to show up authentically. And there's a million ways to show up authentically because people buy a transformation. People want that to accept that invitation to transform their lives. So when we step into that and not be greedy by keeping all this goodness, the world needs you and your brilliance. So it's time to step into that, self-assess. I get all passionate, guys. I'm getting off topic. It's time. I know time is up. Self-assess today. Take the workbook, take the notes, be honest with yourself and self-assess. And before we close for today, I want you guys to take one more last deep breath. Come on, join me, put your feet on the ground. One more. I am so grateful that you guys took the time to be here with me today, to sign up, to accept all my emails that are coming in your inbox and all the juicy stuff. And before I sign off for today, I'll be back tomorrow at 12 noon on Zoom. If you can't make it, always hop in the Facebook group and watch the replays. I want to invite you in as the first day of, I'm inviting you in to my offer, which is working with me for 6 months, to the Brilliant Business Reinvention Program. I am going to drop the link inside of the Facebook group. If you'd like to sign up today, there's no pressure, but I have the day one bonus. I'm going to be inviting you guys every day, just so you know, I'm inviting you in. I'm going to continue to teach and give you my soul, but there's an open invitation. Today's bonus is if you register before midnight tonight, I'm going to offer you 2 hours complimentary VIP. If you live locally, we can meet locally. I live at the shore, or we can do it via Zoom, or we can do it via phone. So that's a complimentary 2-hour session with me. It's usually a $2,000 value. We deep dive into your business and we really dissect and get massive, massive breakthroughs in those 2 hours. So I'm going to put the link in the Facebook group. If anybody wants the link now or anybody wants the link, you can simply reach out to me in DMs and it'll be available for you. So here's for you guys. I'm sending you all a lot of massive love and light. I'm sorry this damn glare on these glasses, but guess what? Without them, I can't see shit. So I got to keep them on. And I thank you all for being here. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to be deep diving into all the steps you have to take, the actual strategies to get your business off the ground. Guys, if you do what I tell you in these 3 days, you could actually launch your coaching consulting business and, run away with it. Just go and do it. But if you want help and you want my support and hand holding and really deep diving, the invitation is always open. So here's sending you guys all love and light. Thank you for being here and thank you for connecting with me. I am so grateful. Bye, guys. Have an awesome day. Love you all.